guys, in this video we're going to be covering the ImageSearchArea function. In the previous video we covered the ImageSearch function, which searches your entire screen to try to find the image you're looking for. The ImageSearchArea function, however, is only going to search a specific region of your screen. Since the image search can take a while, depending on how big your screen is, the image you're looking for, how many times you want to look for it, using the ImageSearchArea function might be the best way to go if you know where the image is going to be. This tutorial is going to be picking up where the first part in this series left off, so if you don't have the ImageSearch 2015.au3 file, you haven't downloaded the library, you are going to need to watch part 1 so you can get that file. So to start off, we're going to need to declare 6 coordinate variables. We're going to start by doing x1 equals 0, y1 equals 0, x2 equals 0, and y2 equals 0. Lastly, let's go ahead and make the last 2 variables. We'll call it return x equals 0. Let's make another one, return y equals 0. So to explain this real quick, we have our x1 and our y1 coordinate, which is basically going to be the top left corner of where we're searching. If we were comparing it to our whole desktop, it's going to be the top left corner of our desktop. Our x2 and our y2 is going to be the bottom right corner of where we're searching. Again, comparing it to our desktop, it would be the bottom right corner of our screen. Now this return x and return y is going to be where it finds the picture. Before we continue, I'm going to set up the search area I'm going to be searching for my picture in. I'm going to get up the Autoit window information tool. You can do that by pressing the start button, clicking on the Autoit folder, and opening up the Autoit window information tool. This is the picture I'm going to be searching for, and I'm going to be searching for it within this relative region. That means that x1 and y1 are going to be the top left corner of the screen. However, x2 and y2 are going to be somewhere around here. So I'm going to grab that coordinate there. And in case you missed that, the way I did that was by clicking on this Finder tool icon and dragging it to the location I needed it in. Now I'm going to set x2 to the first position here, which is 633. I'm going to set y2 to 486. Next, we need to set our picture variable, which is essentially the picture that we're searching for. This is the folder that my script is in right now. Here's the picture. You can have your picture be in any location. However, if the picture is inside the same folder as your script, instead of having to copy this whole path, go back to your script and pasting the whole path plus a backslash and the name of your script, sorry, your picture, picture.png, what you can do is, since it's in the same folder as your script, you don't even have to put the path. Just put the picture name and it'll work. However, if your picture is not in the same folder as your script, you will have to put the entire path plus a backslash in the name of your picture. We're now ready to do the image search. We need to start off by creating a variable that's going to store the result of the image search. I'm going to call this result equals underscore image search area parentheses the name of our variable, which in this case is picture, comma 1, comma, and then we're going to do our x variables, x1, comma, then our y variable, y1, comma, x2, comma, y2, comma, and then our return variables, which is going to be return x, comma, return y, comma, and then for our search, we're going to do 0, comma, 0, and parentheses. Here I have a documentation file, which I created and included in the Dropbox link of the image search library. If you want that, you can find it in the description of part 1 of the image search tutorial series I'm doing. In this, I've included all the necessary information about all the image search functions and the parameters that they need. Comparing our script to the documentation, you can see that the first parameter is the find image, which we have here as picture. Our second parameter is the result position, which is here. If we look in the documentation, the result position is set where the return x, y location of the image is. If you have it set to 1, like we do, the return x and return y are going to be the center of our image, or at least where it found it. So in this case, it'll return the coordinate right in the middle of this cat. If we had it set to 0, it would return the top left corner, or if we had it set to anything other than 1, it will return the top left corner, which would be up here. We've also got x1, y1, right and bottom, which are the same things as our x1, y1, x2, y2. These are included right here, just a little bit below the rest of the parameters, for parameters that are specific to the image search area. Essentially, it's the top left corner and the top right corner of your search area. We've also got our by ref x and by ref y, which basically is just our x and y coordinate. which is going to be our return X and return Y. In the documentation, you can see X and Y, return the X and Y location of the image. It's just going to be where it found the image. And now we've got these two zeros right here, which stand for tolerance and transparency. Tolerance is essentially how off the image it finds can be from the image we're searching for. I've read on the Autoit forum that somewhere between 100 and 150 usually tends to be a good tolerance. Having a tolerance of 0, as you can see in the documentation, means no tolerance. It has to be exact. The highest you can go is 255. I'm not totally sure about the transparency. From what I am assuming, if you set this 0 to trans black or trans white, it would allow for some kind of black transparent background or a white transparent background, or a hex value. So if you had a green transparent background, then you would include the hex value of that green transparent color, and then you would put that here instead. You can get the hex value of any color by using the Autoit window spy. If I was to drag it over this gray color here, you can see that while I'm under the mouse tab, it says color, and then it has 0xC0C0C0, which is the hex value of this gray color. Increasing the value of the tolerance or the transparency will make the image search take longer. But since you're searching in an area, it might not make too much of an extra difference depending on what you're searching for. So if we run our script now, it will do the image search within the area that we specified and store the result in this variable called result, but nothing else will happen and the program will terminate. So let's make an if-else to say if the result is going to be 1. So we're going to say if result equals 1, meaning it did find the image within the area that we specified. Then let's go ahead and move the mouse. So we'll do mouse move to our return X, comma, return Y. And we're going to set the mouse movement speed to 100 so we can see the mouse move nice and slow for the purposes of the video. Then we're going to do else. If it doesn't find it, we're going to do a tooltip. And the message is going to be error. And we're going to sleep for 1 second so you guys can see the error message. And then we're going to do end if. Now, just for testing purposes, I'm going to make the program sleep for about 1.5 seconds. So when we run the program, I'll have time to bring the image up before the program actually does the image search. Now let's test it out. Without the image open, I'm going to press F5, and you can see we got an error tooltip. Now we're going to do the image search with the image where it's supposed to be. And there we go, the mouse is moving on its own to the image. Let's try it again, but this time we're going to move the image over to the right a little bit. So outside the search region I defined earlier. Error, not found. Try again. Error, still not found. So that's the ImageSearchArea function, which is a part of the image search library that you can use with Autoit. Part series, and the next part we're going to cover wait for image search. That's it. Thanks for watching. Bye!